Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. So, Mama B has returned
Mhm.
home. The weeks have flown by, and it is finally time for the great ritual.
Yes, the feast of momentous maturity.
Yes. Many kobolds
Um,
gather and begin to
uh,
play their kobold music.
yeah. In the lead up to this, I want to make sure we have enough fresh meat for our feast. So I don't know if we need to do a little hunting.
Sure.
I think it's probably not a single day. The kobolds aren't very good at keeping time, right? So I think it's over the course of days.
They begin
Kobolds
to
begin to
arrive.
show up.
Mhm.
They're playing music. In this time, I want to make sure that we're hunting.
Yes.
If I need to be involved in this, that's the thing we can do.
No, I don't think we need to roleplay the hunting this time around.
Okay, but we catch some deer.
Mhm.
Get ready to roast
Yes.
them on up. There aren't any. Was there a pregnant red moon? I think she might have already been at the Moon Cave, if such was the case.
Well, there are many kobolds here now. It looks like they've pretty much left all of their holdings behind, and they have all joined together for this great feast and ceremony.
Do I already have this quest spell memorized? Is this something I need to pray for?
No, you just can. You're sitting on it.
I had.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I had that dream or whatever, and that imparted it. However many moons back.
Mm-hmm. As you sit around one day when the last of the people have arrived and there's a big roaring bonfire with a couple of animals spit over it, you count out all the kobolds you can see, add in the ones you know are on patrol, plus the ones that are inside getting ready to give birth, and you come up with 165 kobolds around you.
These are just moons, or this is including
This is red moons, long moons, wet furs, and stinky butts.
Mm-hmm.
Together, you have gathered 165 kobolds, ready.
How many?
To do.
So there are two. There are two moons, right? Two moon litters about to be born.
Yes.
Are there any younglings or?
There are many
mothers?
younglings. You have 7 younglings in your own camp. Plus, then each camp has, I want to say, like about a third of their population is younglings.
Okay.
Maybe not quite. Maybe it's close to like a fifth of their population.
Okay.
So
I think the focus of this feast is the children,
mm-hmm.
the baby kobolds. So yeah, we're roasting fresh deer, feeding it to the young and old. Everyone's feasting.
Everyone's feasting.
What does the casting of the spell have to entail? Is it some sort of ritual? Do I need components, or can I just cast it when we've got the optimum number?
Well, what do you want to do? I haven't written down those specifications. What do you think would be an appropriate ritual or momentous maturity?
I don't even have the description you originally sent me. I just have quest spell momentous maturity on my spell list.
I probably should have right now in Zoom.
I probably should have been including that when I was, because that's what the next line is on my. Excuse me, on my character sheet.
It quintuples the growth rate for all non-adult types of one race, kobold, human, half-elf, etc., but reduces their maximum life expectancy to 1/5 of their normal rate.
Shh, don't tell them the fine print.
The caster then also loses 1 year of their life from this spell.
Yeah. Yep. So, no, and are there any material components?
Seems like there ought to be some sort of material components.
Or, I mean, it's a quest spell, so it's kind of at the discretion of your goddess, I would assume. But
right, but there should still be some sort of ceremony involved. Maybe not specific material components, but to you, what do you think the ceremony for?
Oh, we need some. No, we might actually need to play out the hunting. We need some. At least in this case, we're going to try and get some blessed milk for the baby kobolds. So I don't know if we got to go track down some, I don't know, pregnant deer, and milk it. Does that seem too? Is that too weird?
No, that's not too weird.
Did Mama B's interpretation of the good mother's will cross a line?
No, this is fine.
Yeah.
It is. I don't remember what time of year we set this in. But the deers wean their offspring for a while.
I think just in the what time of year is it?
Well, it's going to have to be spring if we want there to be pregnant deer around or nursing deer around.
Mm-hmm. Or at least we can pretend they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that has to be the spell. I mean, the spell component can't be contingent on the time of year, can it?
I think blessed milk could come from a lot of sources. So if you want deer milk, that's fine. But other times of year, you might be able to use calf milk or something.
Or blessed kobold milk.
Blessed kobold milk might work.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mama B's.
Does Mama B have fetid kobold milk?
No. Part of this spell, if we recall way back when, part of all of this blessing of Martha comes at the cost that Mama B can have no offspring of her own, and Mama B will die slowly from the momentous maturity casting over and over again. It is not your job to lead the kobolds forever. It is your job to bring them to a point where they can rise on their own.
I mean, I think the main material component of this is my year of life force, right? Yeah. So I think what happens is as this litter of kobold pups is born, they first come to nurse upon the teat of Mama Beatrix.
And they drain your life slowly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah. So I yeah.
Their first milk will be from the Great Mothers.
How many? God,
8 teats? How
many? You knew what I was going to ask. Yeah. How many teats does a kobold have?
The same as a dog. So it's what we're gonna.
Maybe Mama B is blessed, so she has an extra nipple or something.
Female dog has 8 to 12, with 10 being the average. It's a variable number.
Yeah, and it's not always symmetrical. Is there a holy number to Martha? I'm sure.
7.
7.
But they have 8 to 10, so 8 to 12. So no one ever gets.
Mama B has 7 nipples of momentous maturity.
Okay.
So the newborn, the kobold pups, is fresh litter. They suckle at my teat. Drink upon the fetid milk of Martha.
Is fetid really the right word for this?
Fetid means like rotten.
Yeah, that's what I'm at. That's why I'm concerned.
I mean,
yeah. But a different fetid does mean honor or entertain. To honor or to entertain someone lavishly.
I'm entertained. Our viewers might be puking in a bucket right now.
But. Yes, but there's nothing I can do for them.
All right. So Mama Beatrix, the motherless matriarch of this tribe here, nurses the younglings with their own life force. And I don't know if the other tribes are freaked out by this or.
Well, I mean, there's music, there's dancing, there's a bonfire. All the tribes are gathered.
Super weird kobold party. Drums are playing. Dancing kobolds.
The long moons and the red moons have both informed the wet furs and stinky butts of the things you've done. The story of you rescuing the kobolds from the No Furk encampment has been told. The slaying of the big one single-handedly has been told. The ousting of goblobs from the one camp has been told over and over again, as long with the big lob slaying. There is a respect around you. Stories of the vines reaching from the grounds and bringing down your foes is the favorite story of all of them.
And I gather the children of the long claws. The pups, let's say. The long claws, the red moons, the butt sniffers,
stinky butts.
The stinky butts. All the tribes, all are welcome to Mama B's bosom. And I come Come, my pups. drink upon the light of Mata.
The blind, hairless pups all drink upon the milk of Mama.
How many young in all between the tribes?
Okay, so there's your 7. I want you to roll for how many new moons are born. There are D4 plus 8 for each mother that has been blessed.
So that's 2, right?
Yeah, so 2d8 plus... I'm sorry, 2d4 plus 16. The number of new moons born.
Jesus. 21.
Okay.
That's not... Oh, that's pretty average.
21 and 7 is a total of 28.
What is the 7?
Now.
Oh, 7, we're the young.
Yeah.
Cool. And all of those were just
that's just the moon. Right.
Yeah, that's just the moons. Jesus, that's why this takes a couple of days. This is a long.
Yes.
The ritual takes however long it takes per pup to bless or whatever.
Right. So now in 1 week, you will have 7 more full-grown adults from those 7 that have been just chilling around. They'll come to full maturity in a week now.
And what about the other tribes? Did any of them take me up on this offer?
Definitely.
Pact with the mother.
There's one pregnant red moon that had recently given birth to a litter. So why don't you roll me another D4 plus 8 for the red moons?
This one has not been, unless she was around for the improved fertility spell.
Oh, that's right. So she just has
I can't remember
D6
how many.
Plus 4.
Right. I think she was pregnant when we met with.
Right. So D6
right?
plus 4 for her.
Yeah. I think it's just a standard litter.
Okay.
Well,
7.
And then how many long claw young were brought? Like, I don't know that there were any any kobolds that were with pup, but
let's see.
Still, like immature kobolds can also be affected by momentous maturity. So if there are
so there were 10 young in the Long Moon tribe.
Mm-hmm. And did they all come?
Yes, they're all there.
Okay.
So they'll be full grown in a week or so, a couple weeks maybe. And then the Long Moon tribe also had 3 recent births. So that's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 4, 4, and 4. 7 and 12 is 19. So 19 pups. The wet furs had... Oh, tragedy has struck. All of the wet fur young died recently in a glob raid back at their home camp. So they only have... They've got nothing to offer. But the stinky butts... My calculator again. Stinky butts have 8 young plus 2 that just gave birth. For 4 and 8 is 12, so they've got 16 young.
And do they all?
Yeah, they're all here.
They're all present. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And this goes up to 70 here. Perfect. All right, so it takes a week or so of nursing and fires and feasting until your supplies run low and the young are starting to grow surprisingly quick. Very quick.
During this time, I would like to treat with the what you call them?
The
leaders. Yeah, the leaders of the 3 other tribes. I can't remember all their names.
There's Nimrod, Nub, Dignog, and Tuffluff.
Nimrod is here?
Nimrod is here.
I assume most of the... So who's watching over the Nofers?
I guess
or
the Nofers have been
here
brought
as well.
too. Yeah, everyone's been brought.
I don't think we're at the moon cave. I think we're gonna keep. Oh no, the no furs know where that is. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We've got it. Yeah. Okay. So I'll have all of the leaders.
You all meet together in secret one time. Back in the
I don't know if
depths
all
of
of
the
them
cave.
need to be there. I mean, I'd like to gauge what the plan is from our new, because I know that Nimrod will do what I say, and I think I've still got whatever the fallen matriarch of the long moons.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's still charmed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not worried about them, but I don't know the loyalty of my butt sniffers. They're all just
Stinky
butt sniffers
butts
now.
Stinky butts.
Yeah. And there's another tribe.
And wet furs.
Wet furs. Oh, that's too good to forget. The wet fur didn't bring any.
No, the
babies.
wet furs are the ones that had the babies recently killed by goblobs.
Wow.
A true tragedy.
Okay. So are they itching for war against the goblobs?
Yes.
Or do I think that I could veer them off to the
Well, they are itching war for the goblobs and the big globs.
Yeah. So I guess we're all seated by the fire. I think Mama B is called her lieutenant's fourth. I don't know what we'll call them that for ease of convenience. I probably got this is like during the week, so I'm like seated on my rolls of fat with like seven younglings.
They're still there. The
Feasting
ceremony is still
strong.
going on.
Yeah.
Don't even take a break from it.
No, I would like to, I would like to help you further. Wet furs, butt sniffers. In your war versus the goblobs. But you see, we moons, referring to both the moon moons and the red moons and the long moons now, have troubles on our own borders. Big ones in the south. Enslave the bad moons.
Outrageous. How dare they? They may be big ones, but together we are bigger ones.
The biggest. All right. What?
Alone, surrounded by their large tribes and numbers, these kobolds show absolutely no fear. Who knows what they'll show when confronted with the enemy. But for now, they are brave and ready for war.
I need, like, large-scale AI. Oh, wait, what is emotion control? What does that do? +2 bonus on saving throws versus fear and stuff. What's the AoE? 1 creature per 5 levels. Oh, no, never mind. There's got to be ways to... There's spells that bolster armies and stuff, aren't there? How do I get these frickin' kobolds to not run away from me in combat? That's a problem for another day. For now, it sounds like they will agree to go to battle against the big ones. It is on the way, too.
Sorta, yeah.
So I think we'll muster our forces, fatten our young, and get ready for to put together a kobold war party.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking to skip a couple of weeks, unless you tell me if shit's going down in that time. So to wait for the pups to reach adulthood.
Yeah. So that's going to be a week for the ones that were already young and just kind of lying around for them to reach adulthood. So let's scrap these. We can scrap. How many young did you gain? Just 21 right now.
Yeah, those were newborn pups though.
Right. But then you got 7. Can you roll me 7d6 for the pups that were the young that were already born, so I can split them in between male and female. 1, 2, 3 is female. 4, 5, 6 is male. So 3 females, 4 males were added.
Okay. Bummer. Oh well.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
There are no longer any pregnant females.
For now.
Hmm.
Although who knows? With all of this feasting and festing, yeah, maybe in the last night of festing, particularly, I would burn a improved fertility. There's nothing else I'm going to spend this gold on. I don't know what the spell components worth 10 gold are, but if Mama B can, yeah, I think I would like. Well, yeah, it'd be cool to have an improved fertility cast during this time if possible.
Sure. Well, you've got like a week that you're doing this.
Yeah.
Fertilitizing.
Yeah.
So you can cast. How many 3rd level spell slots can you spare in a week?
I've got 1 a day. So how many? Okay. So you want?
So 7 improved fertilities cast.
All right. And are those? Am I able to target those 100% effectively? Oh, maybe that's included in this 30% chance. So I get a 10% chance per level, so a 50% chance.
To improve
of conception. Yeah.
Okay, and you get 7 of those. So why don't you roll me 7d100?
Yeah. We're looking for 50 or lower. So that's 1, 2, 3. No, the 51 is not quite going to do it. Bummer.
Okay, and then normal chances for conception occur after that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's
I don't know what normal chances for conception at a kobold party is, but before the boys go off to war, certain things tend to happen, right?
Right. So you got 3. Okay. So we'll mark this later in here somehow. Okay.
So at some point I would have I burned etherealness before that week, before the party.
Sure.
I don't. No. Waste of a cool spell, but hey. And I might do. What was the ogre's camp looking like? What was the terrain like around it?
It's built in between where these 2 hills kind of come down together.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they're digging a cave in the side of one of the hills to function as an ogre home.
Is there any vegetation or root systems in the mount or in the what you call it?
The hills are covered in grass. There are a few trees around and some bushes, but it's
so you'd say plant growth of moderate size and density.
Light. I would say it's light plant growth.
Okay, I'm trying to gauge if spike growth would work in ogre country.
Page 2.
The wording is moderate size of density, hence my leading language.
Whenever any type of plant growth of moderate size or density is found, the spell can be used. Yeah, I don't think it's quite.
Then would entangle also not work?
No, I think entangle would be fine.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm reading spike growth, and it doesn't sound like the description of the spell doesn't sound like it needs moderate growth, right? The ground covering vegetation.
Yeah, it basically makes
and
magical
in the area become very hard and sharply pointed.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, like a grassy area seems to be like light cover, not moderate. Maybe I am overestimating plant growth.
I mean, there's always roots and stuff. Like if there's grass, I mean that sounds to me like moderate. I mean,
sure.
It's not like it's a desert, right?
Right, and it's not like it's patchy like spots of dirt with a few plants here and there. So maybe a grassy area is moderate plant growth. All right, I'll give it to you. That seems fair.
Okay. Yeah. It seems good anti-ogre spell. And an entangle on top of that. Okay. Well, 5 ogres, huh? Am I just charging headfirst into my doom, or am I overestimating ogres? There's my spell list. I can constantly cast that quest spell? I don't need to pray for it. I should add a year to my life, correct?
I'll just subtract a year from your end of life. How many years old are you right now?
22. I think in kobold years, that's pretty old.
Yeah. Kobold lifespan is 40 to 50 years if they don't die first.
Despite what it says in the Monstrous Manual.
Well, Monstrous Manual also has kobolds being reptilian, lizard-like creatures that lay eggs. I'm using canine.
Yeah, I like to think of them more like fairies, like German folklore kobolds, little trickster things.
I didn't know kobolds come from German folklore.
Yeah, they're a mythological creature. But in Neal and Dragons, we got our little dog kobolds in the Nealiverse.
In the Nealiverse.
Cool beans.
All right, so you gather your... How many are you gathering? Are you gathering everyone together for this?
For this war party, I think all of the fighting age males, yeah. But even though kobold men and women tend to fight pretty equally.
Yeah, their stat blocks are identical.
I think, we're going to go with the expendable males.
Yeah, men are expendable. They don't, your population's low. You need to keep it rising. So you send the people who are completely replaceable and have very little value to society off to go to war.
And I wonder what to do with the humans. Like, do I take the humans with us? Have we had any issues with the slaves?
No. They have been surprisingly well-mannered. Maybe it's because Nimrod has been very good at keeping them in line. You notice that their backs are covered in red welts, like they've been whipped with bushes.
Nimrod. Okay, well, I'll need him in the fight against the ogres. Or at least his gear. He's not any better than a regular kobold, right? But that would be I can't just take his longsword after having given it to him, so it's gonna have to be
you might have to leave. You might have to take Nimrod with you.
Yeah,
it'd be
definitely. Nimrod's definitely coming with us.
All right.
And however many else I can muster.
All right, so I'm just going to say half of the population is male because I don't want to figure them all out myself.
Yeah. And we'll need to leave some. Oh no! The women folk some of the women folk are newly knocked up, so we can repopulate if shit hits the fan. And then we probably need to leave enough behind. The women can hold down the fort.
That's 92
they can keep the
and a
slaves
half. So let's call it 92 males. Full-grown adult males ready to go to war.
He said 92.
92.
This is just moons, right?
This is red moons, long moons. Oh, you don't want the wet furs or the stinky butts?
I would love to have the wet furs and the stinky butts.
They're coming along too.
I was trying to gauge whether they were included in that number.
Yeah, they're coming along with that. 92.
Yeah, so I think first we're gonna hit the ogres, and then we're gonna continue towards Smuggler's Pass.
Okay. Do you have a rallying speech for your people before you set off?
No. Am I expected to? No, I think we just move this party westward. It's a lot of kobolds.
It's a lot of kobolds.
Yeah, I don't think they need like a speech or central leadership. They're kind of just swarming or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean,
All
they've been
right.
hearing about the moon or what is it, the bad moons
The poor
that are
enslaved bad
enslaved in the
moons.
west.
All right.
Yeah.
The greater
At least-
moon tribe moves towards the ogre encampment, the big one encampment. You find it without any trouble, and sure enough, there are the poor bad moons enslaved. One of them is even strapped to a set of crossed beams, being staked in the sun, slowly dying of exposure. As an example to the others.
You see what they do. No respect for life. Well, Mama B says a skull for a skull. They kill one moon. We kill one big one. How many dead do we see? Or is there just the one?
It's just the one on top of the hill. A warning sign to any kobolds who dare defy them.
I would have liked to have taken, I guess this is a little out of order, but we would have passed by the corpse of the big one on the way.
Yes.
Right? Or it wouldn't have been too far to go out of the way. And maybe even some of our, some of the kobolds that weren't armed took up, like, ribs or...
Mm-hmm. Took up clubs from the ogre's bones. Ooh,
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So they've seen that we are capable of killing big ones. Ooh. So we set up shop around.
Is the plan just to encircle their hill and just swarm it with kobolds?
That's where I'd like to start at least, and I think we'll start setting up traps, just like that first day when we arrived, just doing kobold things, kobolding up the woods,
Okay.
Increasing the chances for a random kobold encounter in the local area.
Well, sure enough, as your people are setting up, one of your little packs, without your supervision, runs into an ogre who's just cruising through the hills. So we're going to have to play out this encounter without Mama B there to help out. Nimrod is leading a group of kobolds.
That cocky bastard, he jumped him, didn't he? Let me roll. Oh, only 9?
Ooh. Nimrod and 9 others are setting up on one flank, digging some big pit traps, hoping to ensnare a big one. Give me a perception check for Nimrod. We're going to say he's got 11 perception.
Is the trap complete? Oh, he is not paying attention. Is the trap completed?
No, he's not paying attention because he's helping to dig the trap when the ogre spots him and lets out a cry in ogre. Of course, Nimrod doesn't understand and rushes into the attack.
So is the trap like partially, like, are there spears dug into the ground or something for this charge, or is there?
So there's like a big 10 by 10 pit that has been dug, that is being dug. It's maybe 4 feet deep right now, not quite enough to affect an ogre.
Are we? Should we roll initiative or do we?
Let's roll initiative. You want to roll me 10d10 with the first one being Nimrod?
Yeah.
Ooh, the ogre is going at 11.
Oh, look at those ones.
Oh, man.
Nimrod sees this ogre coming. And has a chance to unsheath his longsword before the ogre. I think Nimrod taunts the creature. Nimrod tries to get behind the... No, he gets behind the pit. And taunts the ogre, draws steel. I think most of his other troops have spears that they can set to receive charge if they beat the initiative.
Okay. He goes at 11, so it looks like everybody
except for 2.
The 7s and the 9s are a +6 from a spear.
Okay, so a kobold-sized spear. I think.
Oh, well, they are small spears. Yeah, I guess they'd be slightly faster. Let's call them initiative 4. So the 9 and 10 are the only ones that are not ready.
Okay. So, yeah. So which should we take care of first? I guess...
The ogre charges in.
Yeah, so I think we ready our actions for when the ogre comes. Like, we're with the kobold lines flank, and there's Nimrod out in the back.
Yeah, the ogre unsheathes his big club, which is just a tree branch that has been plucked of the little things off of it, with a couple of big brass spikes hammered in, and comes charging at the line with a big shout and a wave of his club.
So I guess we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 set to receive.
8 attacks. One of the first one being Nimrod, the rest being Spearman.
Okay. Sure, but not all of them can receive the ogre's charge.
Okay.
Because they're,
So I think, yeah.
So I think maybe 2 of them can probably set to receive the charge against the ogre. Maybe even ogres. Kobolds are small. Ogres are large. You could fit 4. 4 of them can set to receive charge.
4 set to receive charge, and the rest can encircle the ogre afterwards.
Right.
So I'll do 4 d20s for the set to receive charge.
Yep.
And okay, so I'll start with the Spearman, and then I'll do Nimrod.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a crit. That's a crit.
The ogre has 15 AC. He gets a -1 because he's charging, which gives him 14.
So unless there's a bonus to attack for kobolds setting to receive charge or anything, I think it's just the...
Right. I think it's just the one who crits the ogre.
Yeah, so... And this is set to receive charge, so it's already doing 2d4. Does it go up to 3d4?
Set to receive charge does double and a crit, so I think they just add extra damage dice.
Excuse me, what's a spear?
Spear
normally does d68. So I think the kobold spear should do d46.
Yeah, that sounds fine. So 3d6?
3d6. 11 points of damage. Nimrod, come on. Get him, you bastard. No. That long sword is also pretty nice against ogres. And then there are 4 more that circle around just with regular attacks.
Yeah.
Surrounding the ogre. 19 will do it.
19 plus 1 because the ogre charged makes it a crit.
Boom! Oh, this ogre, Nimrod and the boys holding it down, so that's 9 more damage.
So the ogre charges in. The first kobold spear gets jammed like right up above the ogre's kneecap, sliding all the way up his thigh bone, underneath the flesh and muscle towards his groin. The second crit comes in from the side as like a hurled spear that grabs the ogre in the neck. He makes one last desperate swipe as he falls to the ground.
Yeah, he gets his attack. Right.
Which is a 12 plus 3 plus charging of 2 is a hit. And deals d10 damage. Deals 2 damage. He kind of biffs his attack as he fumbles to the ground.
Oh no, the kobold had 1 life.
Splattering 1 kobold to death, probably. I don't know if these guys have any healing capability, but the ogre
can get to Mama B in time. Ooh, okay. Oh, 2 more hits. I don't know.
He had reached 0. Exactly.
Oh, okay. 0 exactly. So
no, -3 actually. -3.
Oh, before the attacks. So then maybe the kobold. Oh, whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna give the ogre 1 attack as he charges the pack of kobolds.
Sure.
He goes down in a big kersplat.
Yeah, so I think what happened is Nimrod circled around the pit or that they were digging, taunted him. The other kobolds like piled in the pit and just like
just dig in the pit.
Just hit it. Oh, the kobolds crouched in the pit with their spears, and the ogre just charged right into it. What a Nimrod!
What a Nimrod!
Skewered ogre. And Nimrod, finishes it off by trying to saw its head off with a long sword and probably struggling. And at some point they'll notify Mama B, I assume. Probably not in time to save the fallen kobold.
He definitely dies.
I think Nimrod probably brings us the ogre's head eventually and tells us what. So this was like he was out, or was he returning to the cave?
He was returning to the camp. On his back, or in his pack, his bag that he's got over his shoulder, are 4 goblin bodies, some kind of rotting meat of sorts. a couple more interesting looking branches, a pretty rock or two, and an ogre skull with etchings along the outside of it.
What are these ogres doing? Well, anyways, I mean, Nimrod brings these skulls before Mama B inspects. Probably initially scolds Nimrod for the, like, I don't know if he told them that kobold died for. No, he would. Yeah, one kobold for one ogre. That's a pretty good trade.
It's a fantastic trade.
That's exactly what I said. Skull for a skull.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we're a skull up right now. I got 2 ogre skulls right here. I think now. Sorry, maybe it's time.
I was gonna say maybe it's time to sacrifice a kobold. You got 2 skulls.
Do I have any? Well, yeah. I don't think I have access to like blood magic or anything like that. Otherwise, I might consider it. But I think now is going to be the best time to stage to stage our own ambush. Our kobolds are emboldened by the ogre skulls laid before them. Clearly, the big ones are not.
Big one.
Are not immortal.
Big one. Let's go down. All right.
Skulls for skulls.
You have.
And we are going to. Yes.
91 kobolds remaining against 4 ogres and the bad moons. It's still uncertain whether the bad moons will fight for the ogres, fight for the kobolds, or just run away and hide. No one knows.
Considering what 9 kobolds can do.
90 kobolds.
I'm looking forward to what 90 kobolds are going to do here. Prayer probably would have been better than spike growth now that I'm looking at the way this battle's going. But hey, we're there. Do we want to take a break now before the big battle, or shall
no? Let's just do it because we've been breaking a little bit late lately. So
yeah.
Let's do the big battle.
So we've got a bunch of partially finished traps in the area around in case we need to make a strategic retreat. So I think the plan will be to engage the ogres and try and lure them away from the cave.
The good old kobold tactic of engage and run away.
Yeah. So
So are you doing like a 360 surround?
The ogres. Yeah, we got a 360 surround, and we're gonna try and squeeze the ogres out of their cave. Kobolds popping out of trees, making funny faces at the ogres. If they appear uninterested, we might start throwing rocks and things.
So to start it off, you just have kobolds mocking the ogres.
Yeah. So we make it. Yeah, we try to hide our numbers in trees and bushes, in pits, ready to jump out.
All right. You start mocking the ogres, who catch sight of you as soon as you do. The first ogre, as he sees kobolds making faces and farting in his direction, goes over to the kobold who's staked out on the big X on the hillside, and grabs his head and just crunches the kobold's head in his single hand, splattering his brains all over. As the
can we get? Do we need a map or anything, or is it just
runs between his fingers? I can bring us to a map,
or just because I think I'm gonna lay down a spike growth. Are there kobolds in? No, it's just 10 foot square per level, so 5 10-foot squares. So I think I'm gonna drop a spike growth like right on top of this bastard. This big one. Big bad. Are you doing something for me?
Yeah, these are elevation lines. Can you see the doodles?
Yes, I can. Yeah. Looks like Mama B's nipples.
How do they look? What? How is... I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
All right.
And there is a creek that runs like this, flowing in that direction. Perfect. So the ogre cave, I'm going to mark in purple, is being built into this side of the hill over here.
Is this to scale at all?
No.
Okay. Is it so not at all? Okay. Well, so
everything's correctly relative to one another, but you can't use.
How far out is the ogre from the cave?
The one that was killed?
No. Well, that too.
Oh, okay. So the one that's
just emerged.
The one that just murdered and crushed a kobold's brain in his hands did so at the top of this hill. Up here.
Just do an X, maybe.
There's a circle and an X in brown. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay.
Kind of
and where is the kobold that's strung up? Or that's...
Well, he's right there. He was there. The ogre went up next to where the cross on the hillside was and just crushed the guy's head.
How far from the cave entrance is this?
It's on top of the hill, so I'd say it's probably like a good 40 or 50 feet over and like 20 or 30 feet up.
40 or 50 feet over.
Yeah.
Okay, 40.
So I guess multiply everything on this by 5 to get an appropriate scale.
Yeah. So I've got 5 10 by 10 squares. I'm trying to figure out how, so can I place them over the entrance as well as on the top of the hill?
Everything should now be to scale. Do some, yeah, there we go. So if you have 5 10 by 10 areas, each one of these squares is 25 feet across.
Oh, okay. That's twice as... no, I can't even select that. That's twice as far as I meant it to be.
Okay.
But it looks like I probably can't get the... I think if I...
You have 5 10 by 10. That's 50 feet. You can do that.
Yeah, so I can do. It's like a line, a 10-foot wide line that covers the entrance to the top of the hill.
And this is with spike growth.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be just if anyone goes in or out of the cave, it's covering that. But it also extends so basically a line, up the hill like that.
Okay.
So it'll catch this ogre that's in it, as well as catching the cave entrance.
All right. The spell goes off, and that will hit the beginning of our combat. So why don't you roll initiative? Let's break your kobolds into 9 groups of 10.
Okay. So should I draw a d10 for each of them?
Yeah, 10 d10.
Separate. So Mama Bee's casting a spell this round, right?
Yes.
Or did it just cast?
That will start combat. Yeah.
So those are for the kobolds. And then should I roll my own?
Please do.
Mama Bee will slowly cast Aid on Nimrod.
Okay. Let's see. One ogre goes at 7. That's pretty good. Do you have anyone that beats a 7? Probably. Where is it?
Yeah, it looks like we got... So is 7 including weapon speed?
Yeah, including weapon speed.
So each of those are...
Maybe we should just not include weapon speed. That's a bitch. Let's just do straight up numbers. So I got an ogre on 1, 3, 3, and 10.
Yeah, another way to handle it is to roll 1 initiative per side and modify attacks on the side by weapon speed.
Oh, that's true. But that would mean all the ogres go first or all the kobolds go first, because the ogre weapon speeds are going to be the same and the kobold weapon speeds are going to be the same.
Probably.
Yeah.
Except, okay.
So there are 4 ogres and 90 kobolds. Mm-hmm. So the ogres are going to declare a heroic fray. And
I am more than half a hit die.
You are, but the rest of your people are not.
I'll roll with this. That gives them a bunch of extra attacks, I believe.
1 extra attack per round, and they can make a free shield punch, shield kick, shield rush, unarmored punch or kick or grab maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
Any attacks of opportunity?
Can they really do that if with Mama B present?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You're just a leader. It'll be fun. You have 90 kobolds. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. All right. So the first ogre comes out, runs right into the spike growth. What happens to him when he does that?
He makes a save versus spell. Okay, so they take damage for each 10 feet of movement through the area. So if he just leaves the cave,
he's going to go through 10 feet of it, and that's
unless he decides to go up the hill.
No, he's not going up the hill.
And then 7 damage, and then he makes a save versus spell. If he fails, his movement is reduced.
Okay. Well, I'm just writing down some ogre HP real quick.
Mm-hmm. And
And last ogre HP.
And there's an ogre on top of the hill, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So he also will need to make. I guess if he moves, he'll make a save.
Right. So the first ogre comes out of the cave, beats his club along the ground. The bad moons in the area scatter. One of them runs through the.
Did he pass or fail his save?
Oh, I forgot to make a save for him. He passes his save.
Okay, so he just takes the damage. His movement is unaffected. I think he's still only movement 6, whatever ogres are. But...
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think any kobolds engage him. If the kobolds are I mean, maybe he could run. He could probably 60. I mean, if he runs 60 feet, he would probably be able to close with a kobold or something, and make an attack there.
Right. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to look to the nearest kobold and make a charge. So he can go 90 and 45 yards. So you can go 135 yards in this round and make an attack at the end of it. That's more than enough to get to wherever you are hanging out. And charges straight into your kobold lines with a big bellow and making 2 attacks with his...
There's no kobold line for him to charge, is what I'm saying. There's a ring of 90 kobolds in the woods around the cave entrance.
Right, so but there'll be at least 1 kobold or 2 kobolds nearby somewhere. He makes his charge at some kobolds. With an 8 and an 11 modified by 3 each, plus 2 for charge. Those are both hits. And dealing 3 and 7 damage to kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
Sending them flying asunder. Can you roll a d4 for the 3 HP one to see if he survives?
Yeah, so he's unconscious.
No, he's unconscious.
So don't delete him from the roll, but he's out of battle.
And then it was... Should I move my dice? It was 1, 3, 3, and 7 for their initiatives, I think. What are your kobolds at?
Not including weapon speed.
Yeah.
2, 3, 3, 4.
Let's do the 2s.
From there.
That's a group of 10 kobolds at 2.
So are they... So I guess we'll have those groups that go first descend upon the kobold that just, went screaming out of the cave.
Sure.
Which direction did he go?
He went this way. Oops, that's on the wrong layer. You can't see that at all. He went this way. We probably should have placed your pack of 10, your 9 packs around the hills somewhere.
So should I draw 9 circles or something?
Yeah.
Or do you want to give me 9 tokens?
I'm going to give you 9
tokens. I think it's just like a circle of 9. Plus there's Mama B and Nimrod. I don't know if there's anywhere else. But
go. Each one of these represents... Perfect. So you can now control this guy, and I'm just going to copy him and make a whole bunch of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You should be able to control each one of those. Can you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And then here are my 4 ogres.
So, okay, yeah. So, one's at the top of the hill, one's engaged right there. Where would this guy be? This guy's probably over here. All right. And there's one ogre at the top of the hill, and the other are not in the cave.
They're in the cave. They haven't come out yet.
Yeah, they're in the cave. Yeah. Okay, so my first squad of kobolds, no bonuses. So I think ogres have AC 15 or 14.
15.
15. So it looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits there. I have 2 groups with spears. There's another group with axes.
Sure.
So I've got 7 axes. 7 axes, 21 spears, 4 shields. So most of the
So we'll say 2 groups with spears, 1 full group with axes, everyone else with like bone clubs or something.
Yeah, and I'll just do that from. So this is the first group, so I'll say it's a spear group.
Sure.
So it's 4d6 damage.
Yes.
Another 10 on top of the.
On top of the spike growth. He is wounded but not dead.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's an ogre at 3, which is this guy on top of the hill, who is going to turn. He's going to have to move through the area because he's already on it. After your kobold pack there, giving out a cry and making his heroic fray.
So saving throw versus spell.
He rolls a 15, which I think is actually a pass. No, 16 is a pass.
So
he fails.
His movement is reduced to 1/3 for the day.
Okay.
He takes the 7 damage.
Ouch.
To reduce to 1/3. So I think his movement rate is 2.
He has 9 normally, so he's down to 3.
3. Okay.
So he can do 45 yards with his charge.
He can easily stumble down the hill into these kobolds.
Yeah. And makes his 2 attacks. Natural 1 is a miss, and a 10 is a hit with all the bonuses on top of that.
So he kicks a kobold.
I forgot to do the unarmed attack as well, yeah. The attack only does 1 point of damage with his club. Oh god.
It doesn't even. You can't do 1. He gets like plus. But it's not.
It's D10. Oh, or by weapon plus 6. I was just rolling the straight D10 for damage, as if he was punching. Perhaps that is a kick then. He makes a kick at a guy for 1 point of damage, and then his free unarmed attack is another kick with his a natural 17 plus 2 for charging, plus 3 for other things is a success, and maybe even a crit on a kobold.
How are we doing crits here?
Just double, so 7 and 4. He kicks a kobold for 11 points of damage. The kobold goes flying.
Okay. What initiative was that at?
That was at 3.
Okay, so I have 2 kobold tribes that go at 3.
Yeah, there's another ogre that goes at 3 as well.
Okay. Does that ogre come out of the cave? Or
that ogre comes out of the cave, needs to make a save. 15 is still a fail. I don't think he can go 45 yards.
He takes 4 damage.
Okay, so
these kobolds are probably hidden behind the hill here. I don't know. Maybe he can roll a perception check. He can see this group. Out that way, but it looks like they're, I guess, 45 yards.
45 yards. He can still make it.
I think the kobolds are. I don't know where these. I mean, the kobolds would run and pull him away if that's feasible.
Sure.
I don't.
If he's wounded, we should have assigned initiatives to these kobolds. Oh, this whole thing is interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. It's also not. I feel like it's not fair rolling straight D10s for the kobolds, because the kobolds would normally all go first for the most part.
Yeah, because they're so fast.
In fact, there's no way an ogre should be able to beat an initiative. Should get an initiative of 3.
Well, if a kobold's got a spear bonus of like 4 or 5
like an
to his
ambush.
initiative.
I think the kobolds were waiting.
You
for
could
this,
even say they were all ready to attack.
Yeah, so I think they would ready to run as the ogre comes towards.
Sure, that's fine. We'll say these other 2 groups got caught somehow. Maybe they literally had their pants down and they were mooning them. The appropriate moon tribe.
So I think with the spike growth and the kobolds being able to pull back a little bit, the ogre should just go as 45 yards. And
he'll go as 45 yards, and the kobolds can back out.
They probably get trapped on the river at this point. But,
yeah.
Okay. And then I don't know which of the tribes you want to go at 3. The only ones that will attack, I think, are the ones that can. That one, these guys may help.
Well, let's just keep all of their initiatives from round to round so we don't have to keep doing this, but I'm just going to go clockwise, starting at the top, and assign them initiatives based on the order they had that you rolled them. So it's if you click on one of their things, the blue circle that pops up is their initiative.
Okay.
Yeah. Although that might be a bitch because now it's just hard to find them. You gotta click around. But that one that
So
fled
this
is
one
at 2.
right here goes at... So let's take care of this one, who goes at 3.
Sure. But let's just say that those
perfect.
were the attacks
The one
that
at
were...
2, I mean, they beat the ogre, so they were
Yeah.
able to retreat before the ogre even
Right. And the one at 3, we'll just say is the ones that already attacked that ogre and did damage to
No, hold
him.
on. This one here has 10.
Yeah, and the other one has
Okay,
3.
we can say that the 3, so that this 3 already
Yeah.
closed that gap, and we're the ones that already attacked.
Right.
There should be one more 3 somewhere. It looks like it is this one that's engaged. Perfect. So let's take care of that. There's 9 left there.
Yeah.
9 d20.
No, there should be 8 left there.
I thought the ogre
He
only
kicked one and kicked. He kicked one really far
he
and
kicked one
brought one to
for 1.
0.
He brought
Oh,
one to
right.
1.
The one that
Yeah.
survived. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So there's 9.
Looks like there's 3 hits in there.
Yep. No crits. Oh, he's
these
charged. So the 19 is a crit. Because it becomes a 20 and it clears by 5. Because he charged and gets -1 to his
so
AC.
I'll do 4d4 damage.
Yep.
8.
8 points of damage actually drops the ogre to -1.
Nice.
He is slaughtered by the pack of kobolds. And then, do you have anybody that goes before 7?
There's a 4, but they're just this one behind the hill.
Okay.
That will probably ready an action to try and lure an ogre into a trap.
Yeah, so...
You said before, there's a 6 back here on the side of the hill that are ready to...
Do it as you
ready
please.
to charge. So this 6 will ready to charge any kobold or any ogre that comes over. Actually, they can see this one.
They can totally see that one.
Yeah, so the 6 will come charge and leap, probably maybe getting to high ground as they descend, like come leaping down the hill.
I don't think they can get quite high ground. Ogres are 9 feet tall, and kobolds are like 3 feet tall. But they can get back attacks.
They can get back attacks, side attacks, what have you. So
if they
2 hits, looks like.
2 hits, yep.
2d4 damage to that ogre, 8 damage.
They rip that ogre to shreds, and he crumples to the ground as the kobold spears jab him all over the place. Or the kobold clubs batter his bones.
Okay.
You have someone at 6, I believe. This guy down here is at 5.
The 6 just went. Okay, the 5 has a ready action, I guess.
And this 4 also needs to go. So
the 4 is readied their action to lure into a spike trap. Then there's 9 that are already on that point, and Mama V goes at 10.
Okay, well this guy comes, the last remaining ogre goes at 7.
Okay.
He comes out,
Saving
walks
throw.
through the spike trap again, fails his save.
Ooh.
And can he make it to any of these groups? It's 100 feet from him. That's still within 45 yards, though.
Yeah, so
he
takes
charges the group.
damage.
Making his 2 club attacks. Ooh, only 3 points of damage. The first club attack is in 23.
Okay.
He just slaughters whatever that is. So I'm going to say his club is like D8 plus 6 for damage.
Club is 2D. Giant club is 2d4.
2d4? Oh, perfect. So that's 5 and 6. That's 11 and 6. That's 17 damage to a single kobold, which gets shredded. And then the other attack is a 6 plus 3 plus 2 is a hit on a kobold for another 3 and 6 points of damage is 9 points of damage. So 2 kobolds die outright, and then he aims a kick at a third with a hit as well for 10 points of damage. So 3 kobolds outright just killed with that charge.
Okay.
And now it's everyone else's turn.
All right. So on 10, not that. Wait, is that one? No, that's the 6. Why can't I? There we go. Whatever. One of those 3 groups of kobold goes at 10.
Okay.
And they have not engaged yet. So were they the ones that one of was? I don't know. I think there's 10. This is a full group.
Sure.
Ooh, that's a crit.
Ooh, it is. That's
Yeah.
All the
I think
ogres charge, they have -1 to the AC, so that 20 is a crit, that 19 is a crit, the 16, 14, 15 are hits. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times damage dice.
7.
Yeah. Yeah.
7d4s, 22 damage.
Oh my god. Against which ogre are we talking about now?
The fresh one, the one that just ran out of the cave. So I think
he only has 15 HP, so he's down. He crumples to the ground. We had 12 left after the last attack, so after the spike growth, so he just dies outright, leaving the one ogre who's trying to chase kobolds across the creek.
He's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, at the end of the round, Mama B's aid goes off. She casts aid on Nimrod. I think this one that held their actions will go in. Mama B was originally 60 yards off, so I don't know which direction she came from, but she could have been back with her.
Somewhere,
75.
anywhere.
So I think yeah. So aid goes off. Nimrod is aided. He's gonna go behead this ogre with his two-handed sword.
Go for it, Nimrod!
These kobolds will be backing him up as well.
Okay.
This round or the next round. D20.
Go Nimrod!
Plus 2 for back attack.
Yep.
Oh, plus 1 for the aid is only a 10. Nope.
And 2 for charge maybe is a 12, is still not a hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Can
then
these kobolds that held their actions change them to charge, or is that not a thing?
that's not a thing.
Okay,
But
so we'll have to
the
wait till
9
next
can
round.
go, right?
Well, this one was going to lure. Oh, yeah, the 9 goes after.
The 9 can go. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that engage with Nimrod. I don't.
Let's say Nimrod's in that group, so 9d20.
Looks like we got a crit. And 2 hits,
technically, if they're charged,
and one more
oh,
hit,
no, yeah.
if they're charging. Yeah, they're charging.
Yeah, so that 20 is a
that's
crit.
3. So looks like 1, 2, 3 hits and 1 crit for 5 damage dice.
Yep.
15 damage.
He lives.
Okay. And then the next round, are we doing the same initiative order again?
Yes. That ogre
okay.
went at 3 last time. So
Really?
he goes
Okay,
at,
so then this one of 2 does actually beat him.
all right. They turn around
Yeah.
and make your 10 attacks.
Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 1 crit for 6 times damage dice.
Oh god.
Holy crap!
The
4
11
ones.
damage brings him to -8. The ogre dies.
And a blessed Nimrod comes in for the behead, even though he was unable to do any actual damage in battle.
Mm-hmm.
He uses his two-handed sword to decapitate this ogre.
It takes a few hacks.
Yeah.
Probably actually more like half an hour of hacking at it. It's a long sword against a giant, thick ogre neck, so it's a slow. It's a slow process. But eventually, he decapitates the beast, and the bad moons are freed. They slowly gather
we went
around.
pretty
you.
close to 1v1 for 1 with.
You
the
lost
ogres.
5 kobolds by my count.
That's 5 for 5 ogres.
4 ogres.
Well,
6 kobolds if you include the one from earlier in the day.
But one of the ogres had an ogre skull in its
That's
possession.
true.
So
that's true.
That counts. There's 5 ogre skulls to show for the 5 dead kobolds.
You won
Martha
for one.
Martha smiles upon us.
Yes.
And there are twice as many pups as were just lost.
Yes.
It is a bountiful time. What's in the ogre cave? Mama B goes in.
Well, in the ogre cave are
Nimrod is doing decapitation.
A bamboo cage filled. There's a pit in the unfinished ogre cave with bamboo rods placed across it, and all the young of the kobold's litter trapped down in this pit, unable to reach out for anything.
Is there a?
There's
Entangle only works on living plants.
Yes,
I believe.
Yes, there are some crude wooden shelves built into the side of the cave. It's more likely just like a log that's been slightly planed and placed against an instead of dirt, on which there are 4 more carved ogre skulls with etchings around the crown.
A bad omen. Skulls unpaid. Death taken without life given. What are these ogres? I'll investigate the skulls, but I assume they're just the same as the last.
Yes.
No new information.
One of them is more finished than any
obtained.
that you've seen before. It's maybe 80% done. Only the very peak is untouched. The bad moons eye you warily before kind of coming to the conclusion that they're free now. They're not subjugated to big ones anymore. They
Bad
come
moons,
licking at
no
your
longer-
heels, sniffing
No
at your
longer
butt.
slaves. You are moon people once more. How was I was able to let them out of the cage? Like it wasn't.
Yeah, you just have to
Locked.
remove some poles, and it's not a difficult thing to get them out. That's just trapped in there and guarded by an ogre at all times to
Yeah.
keep the.
How many bad moons are there here?
There were 24, but one of them was crucified. So there are 23 bad moons. Their de facto leader is a very old kobold named Gibjab. He's got gray fur down his chest, which lets you know that he's an old guy. Gibjab comes over to you a little bit weary. He's got a bad hip now. Kobolds get bad hips when they get old. Too much inbreeding. With kind of milky eyes, reaches out towards Mama Beatrix and goes, "Are you the great one that was foretold? Are you here to save us from big bads?"
No longer will the kobolds be subjugated. That's not a kobold word. Slaves to big ones, bads, big lobs. The time of the kobold is now.
The bad moons start
A
howling.
new moon rises.
One of them shouts out, "A bad moon rises!"
A moon rises. I correct him. Oh, okay. And we, do what kobolds do best. And I think we'll just make this a bad moon cave, actually.
All right.
And a stockpile for all of our ogre skulls.
And why don't we go take a break? I recommend all of you listen to CCR's Bad Moon Rising during this break. And we'll see you on the other side. Bye.